It's Thursday, May 4th at about 1:40 in the afternoon. And as you can tell, I still have my semi-winter coat on. And you want to know why I still have this winter coat on? It's all because of that omega block. So what is an omega block exactly? That's where you have two low pressure systems and wedged between them is a extreme high pressure system. And if you were to look on a map of North America and draw the systems out, you would see that the high pressure zone has a very steep curve to it in between the two low pressure systems. When this happens, they can get locked in place and move very slowly from west to east, much more so than normal. So then things become locked and these systems can just remain in place for several days to a week or more at a time until something comes along to disturb them and to change the shape of the flow of the jet stream across the continent. Yes, so we still have this large low pressure system stuck over our heads, swirling around over our heads like a giant merry-go-round, bringing Arctic air into our area. But gradually it's moving out tomorrow, I think. And we're supposed to get up to 16. Today we're only hitting 10 degrees so far. And it's been cloudy all day. My goodness, there's a bit of sunshine. I can't believe it. I hardly know what it looks like anymore. I've just discovered some squirrel corn here beside the trail. It's a plant I've been thinking about for some time now. It's very similar to Dutchman's breeches, but it has a different shaped flower. And I was trying to think back to the last time I'd ever seen it, and it was quite a few years ago, and I can't even remember exactly where. It's a strange little plant. It's in the Fumariaceae family, such as the Dutchman's breeches as well. But it's got a very scattered location occurrence as far as I can see. It's not really abundant over a lot of its range. It seems to occur more sporadically, so I'm going to get some pictures here. So here's some Dutchman's breeches for comparison before I get to the squirrel corn. Notice the leaves in the background, how finely dissected they are. And then these little flowers look like pants hanging upside down. Dutchman's pants, I guess somebody thought once. Very pretty. Now here's the squirrel corn for comparison. You can tell these plants are closely related. Looking at the leaves, they look almost identical to the Dutchman's breeches. You can see the flowers are quite different. They're almost like little hearts or an anchor shape, or I don't know what you'd describe it. Quite different than the Dutchman's breeches though. So that was very nice to see that squirrel corn. Very pretty little plant. That was the only one I saw flowering there, although there may have been other plants that weren't flowering. It's just hard to tell the leaves apart from Dutchman's breeches. I'm sure there are ways, I'm just not familiar with the ways to tell the leaves apart. But just met an old co-worker of mine who I haven't seen for probably 5 or more years, so that was kind of a nice meeting on the trail out here. He's also walking his dog. A nice black lab, so great to catch up and see people like that again you haven't seen in a long time. So it's 2:50 and we've just reached Perth Road. We've been sort of trudging along, and then of course we had to talk with my friend for probably 15 minutes, so we're a bit slow, but we're heading back to McFadden Road where we started. It's been a nice walk despite the cooler than normal weather, but still a nice day to get out and walk. The spring flowers are in nice bloom. Some of the real early flowers are starting to go, but trilliums are just coming into their maximum now, and several other species as well, so it's a nice treat to see them. I'll try and get some photos of them on the way back here. I was just walking along the trail here and I heard a loud screeching sound out over this lake here, this small lake, and I looked up with my binoculars and there was two hawks apparently sort of mingling or going at each other in the middle of the air, and I thought at first they were two peregrine falcons, and that continued for a while. They were sort of tangled up with each other, like in front of each other and behind each other. And then the one flew off and it was a peregrine, but I have a feeling the other one was a marsh hawk. So I didn't see what initially happened, but I suspect the peregrine must have came upon the marsh hawk flying and then maybe semi-attacked it or something, and I don't know if it hurt it. The marsh hawk eventually went down below the tree line. Oh, there's something flying there. It looks like a marsh hawk, so hopefully it's okay. Yeah, that's a marsh hawk. And then the peregrine did circles around here for a while, and then it flew off to the southeast. So I guess he was just asserting his dominance, showing who is the king of the sky. But quite an amazing sight, and always exciting to see peregrine falcons. They're just such amazing flyers. Yeah, so the bird I see flying over here now is a male marsh hawk. So you can tell them because they're all gray with a white rump, as opposed to the female, which is brown. And that's the bird I'm pretty sure that the peregrine was tangling with. I remember seeing it looking gray. So I don't know what happened there. I think it was just a skirmish in the air. And then the peregrine veered off and away. Well, it's 3:52 and we're just a few hundred meters away from McFadden Road and the end of the hike. It's been a nice walk out here with a few nice little surprises, the peregrine falcon and the various spring plants in bloom. Of course, the squirrel corn, which was exciting to see. I guess most people out there wouldn't consider that very exciting, but for a botanist, when you see things you haven't seen for a while, or things you have never seen. It gets quite exciting. It's the thrill of the search, I guess. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed that little outing here along the Cataraqui Trail from McFadden Road to Perth Road. Still cloudy predominantly and probably 12 degrees maybe, and not too much wind, so it's a nice day for hiking. Actually getting kind of warm now in this coat, so by tomorrow we're supposed to be up to 16 and it'll be a lot more pleasant. You can probably go outside without a coat or just a very thin windbreaker or something, but and then on the weekend for several days up in the low 20s, so that'll be a nice change again back to warmer weather. Looking forward to it. I think the birds are confused. They were getting ready to nest a week or so ago when it was warm, and then it went back cold again. It's done that probably 3 times lately. I don't think they know what's happening, but hopefully from here on in it's going to be more steadily warm, or at least more of an average warming up than it has been. Catch you later.